Good morning and welcome back to my channel, Stitches with Love. My name is Elizabeth and I am so excited for you to be here today. This is another episode of Sock Sunday, and it might actually be my last episode, but I'll get to that in just a moment. It's a lovely, cool, rainy, last day of summer morning here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. And tomorrow is the very first day of the autumnal season. Did I say that right? I don't know. I'm still working on a respiratory virus, so I'm not 100% yet. We're not going to do much of anything today, but just stay home, rest. The boys are watching a movie right now, and I am having a cup of espresso, and I added my usual stevia and collagen, and I picked up a new coffee creamer. It's from Nut Pods, and if you're not familiar with that, it's almond milk and coconut milk blended together, and they have a plain version, and then they have some that are flavored. You can get them sweetened or unsweetened. This particular one is unsweetened, so I added my own, and it's pumpkin spice. And I'm not normally a pumpkin spice anything sort of person, but once a year I buy a PSL from Starbucks to say that I participated. But now I just make my own at home, and I actually prefer them, and I get all of the autumny vibes, and I really like this a lot better. But you didn't come here to listen to me ramble on about my coffee. So I guess we'll get started on Sock Sunday. I don't think I'm going to call it Sock Sunday anymore if I post something on Sundays, because I came to the realization that while most of the knitting I do is indeed sock knitting, I feel like I sort of limit myself and get kind of bored and lose interest if I'm only working on one specific thing at a time, even if it's just for one day. So I think at least for now, this will be the end of my official Sock Sunday videos, and I'm just going to focus on whatever knitting progress I have on the needles, regardless of the day. So you're still going to find me here. You can still subscribe to Stitches with Love and find me here. I will still be knitting. I'm not giving that up. I'm just going to maybe change the way I do things a little bit. So, since I did promise you a Sock Sunday, I will show you the sock that I did finish. Last week I shared with you the pair that I just made for my oldest son, Michael. He loves them. I know that he loves them because he wore them for approximately 17 minutes and then shoved them to the corner of his bed. But he's assured me he will wear them again, and he loves them. So we'll see. So I have one of the next pair of socks for him done. I didn't write anything down with these, so I don't remember how many rows I did for the foot. I did a knit two, purl two. What did I do? I'm so tired. This virus is really kicking my butt. I did a knit two, purl two cuff for 25 rounds, and then I did 80 rounds for the leg because Michael likes really long legs on his socks. He does not like and never has liked short ankle socks. And then I think I did 60 rounds maybe for the foot before I did the toe decreases. And I have not yet cast on the second sock. I have more than enough to make another one. This is from West Yorkshire Spinners. It comes from the UK, and they have beautiful, beautiful sock yarns. If you're interested in buying this yarn, I buy it off of Amazon. But if you buy it directly from West Yorkshire Spinners, their company website, you can actually get colors from there that you can't find on Amazon. So just keep that in mind. I have a very long wish list of sock yarns that I would like to purchase because they're all so beautiful. And how can you pick just one or two anytime you order? So I keep a running wish list and I purchase my yarn as I'm able. And then I'm using, for this pair of socks, I'm using the Magic Loop method on one 32-inch circular needle. These are my favorite needles. I don't know, I'm not sure if I'll ever go back to any other brand after using these. These are ChiaoGoo needles. They have a beautiful, flexible red lace cable. And they're just amazing needles. I love the way they feel in my hands. They don't feel cold. Sometimes metal needles can feel kind of cold and uncomfortable. They have a very fine, sharp point, which is really lovely for working your stitches. It is not so lovely when you stab yourself, and I did that at least 5 times this past week while working with these needles. But totally worth the money, worth the investment if you're looking to either get into knitting or you're looking into trying a different kind of needle. I think these are going to be your best bet. And I'm not sponsored by ChiaoGoo, but I wouldn't say no to a sponsorship or perhaps free knitting needles. You know, just to try out and give good reviews. All right, so that's really the only update I have as far as my sock knitting. I have not cast on for any other socks, I don't think. No, isn't that weird? I haven't cast on for any other socks this week, which is sort of unusual because the temptation has absolutely been there to cast on for more socks, whether I already have a pair started or not. Let me think. What else can I tell you about? I've been knitting kind of when I can. The last couple days I've not felt well, so there's been some extra knitting. Let's move on to my current project. One of them. So back on, I forget when I posted it, but in my very first episode of Stitches with Love, I shared all of my works in progress except for this one. I don't think I shared this one because I forgot to grab the bag that it was in, and I didn't want to walk away from the camera to go and get it. But at the time that I posted all of my works in progress, I had very little of this shawl started. I really only had as far as the blue part here. And actually, yeah, I had just the blue part started. That's the beginning of the body of the shawl, the part that goes around the back of your neck or the front, depending on how you're wearing this particular one. And quite truthfully, I thought about ripping it out because I have another shawl that I really want to make, and that's going to be an upcoming project, but the only size 7 needles that I could find are these. I do have another pair, but those are also in use, and I didn't really want to put any of my projects on hold just so that I could use the needles. So I decided that what I would do is I would go ahead and finish this shawl because it was already pretty well started. And I really did want to finish it. I didn't really want to rip it out. So after making the decision to finish, this is really all I've worked on the last few days because I really want to get my next shawl on the needles. And I had thought about doing that project, starting it in October, which I don't have my calendar handy. I think is just next week. Next Tuesday, maybe? I don't know. It's coming up. September's a really weird short month. And so I thought about just waiting a little bit longer and casting on my new shawl and making that my October project. But, excuse me, I really still love the idea of doing a pair of socks every month. So, after looking at the calendar yesterday, I decided that since tomorrow is the first day of autumn, and autumn is my favorite season, and it really is starting to feel more like autumn, I would start my new shawl tomorrow. But that's only if I can actually finish this current shawl and get it off the needles first. So tomorrow, on the first day of autumn, I'm either going to be starting a new shawl or I'm going to be working very hard to finish this one so that I can start the next one. I'll keep you posted. But this is as far as I've gotten so far. It is very close to being finished. This is the Suki shawl. And when I picked it back up to work on it, I had only done this blue section here. I hadn't gotten to any of the striping. So the stripes are what I've been working on nonstop for the last couple of days. It has a total of 6 stripes. I just finished the 5th. So I will work one more yellow stripe, then I will bind off or break off that yarn and do the lace border in blue, and then one more picot edging in yellow, and then this will be done. There are mistakes in here. The counts are a little weird. One of the stripes, I didn't purl where I should have. Do I care? Absolutely not, because this is still going to keep me warm. It's still going to be beautiful. And really, no one's going to care or notice that the stitches are off or that I'm missing pearls where there should be. It just doesn't matter. So, I may work on socks today. I may not. I think probably this is going to be the majority of my knitting. My children were up way earlier than I would have preferred them to be. And so unfortunately, I wasn't able to have any kind of sleeping in or quiet rest time just to myself, because as soon as they got up, they just needed mama. And that's okay. Some days are just like that. And so today, as much as I can, I'm going to spend time with my boys. I'm going to work on my knitting. Actually, watching a movie with them is really prime knitting time most of the time. So I think that's just what we're going to do. We're going to have a quiet day, enjoy looking out at the rain, and we'll watch a movie together. And I'll keep you all posted. Hopefully tomorrow this will be coming off the needles and I will be ready to show you what's going on. In the meantime, happy knitting and have a blessed, blessed day. Bye.